Hello everyone, good morning. Today is 16th of September and I welcome you all to the Hindu newspaper analysis discussion. So guys, let's start with the today's newspaper discussion and I would like to tell you that you can download explainer notes of this session from our Telegram channel. The link for Telegram is given in description box in YouTube. Now first of all, let's take overview of entire newspaper so that we can understand that which articles are actually important in today's newspaper. So here we have first page of Delhi edition. First article talks about goods trade deficit hits a 10-month high. Now, as we talk about India, so India's exports have actually declined by 6.86%. And as India's exports are declining, so basically what will happen, trade deficit will increase. We import lot, we import crude oil, we import IT components, we import electronics, fine. Now in this capacity, so what has happened, trade deficit has declined. Now one particular thing, guys, understand this thing here, month by month data is being given, that okay, how much decline happened, fine, how much is the trade deficit, where it is heading on. Now I have told you it many number of a times that every month by month data, it is not important for your examination because it will change by the time you're be writing exam. But this direction, this trajectory, the state of Indian economy, fine, these are certain things that you should be aware of. Then moving on, Nipah cases rises to 6 in Kozhikode. So guys, 2 days back we have discussed the Nipah virus, that how the Nipah we have discussed Nipah virus. It is a zoonotic virus, but human to human transmissions also happen. Okay, so basically we have seen that the bats and pigs are the reservoir of Nipah, and in last 5 years, around 4 breakdowns of Nipah has happened in Kerala. Now, guys, no need to track every day that how many new cases have come, fine, and all such kind of things for examination. Then moving on guys, in next then we have these advertisements. City section, caught on camera, man in West Delhi booked for sexual assault of dogs. Now guys, even yesterday I have shown you one particular article where it was said that in this new Bharatiya in the new Nyaya Samhita bill that is being brought to replace the IPC, such offenses have not been accounted and these offenses have increased a lot in the last few years. Okay, so moving on, then guys, in the states, Haryana Congress MLA arrested for violence. These are the regional issues, etc., that we have here. Nothing much important for the exam has been given. So directly we'll be moving on. Advertisements, tenders, all such things are there. We'll directly come to editorial section. Now let's see this particular thing, that in editorial, first article that we have, in diverse India, name change demands consensus. So recently what has happened, G20 invites that were sent, they were sent when they were sent, the name Bharat was used in place of India. Now when we talk about article 1 of Indian constitution, it uses word India, that is Bharat. So government says that we can use either of the name, but now on the opposition side there are these viewpoints that are coming, that this is unnecessary confusion, etc., that is being created. Now on such kind of a thing, there is this commentary. Now guys, understand this particular thing, these political issues, etc., are not something, fine, the issues which, now there are some issues which become a very big political controversies where oppositions will be making a question, opponents will be writing article that this government is going towards cultural revivalism and all such things. Such things are not important for exam point of view and you need not to go too much in detail. Okay, then here this article talks about the misplaced mystery, special session of parliament could have done with less lot secrecy. So basically parliament is about to meet for a special session from 18 to 22, and it has been said that up till now opposition parties were not told that what is the reason that this particular parliament is being inaugurated, but government has uploaded the agenda for the first day that they are going to discuss the progress of 75 years of constitution, and probably there are the hint that new parliament building will be now, which has already been inaugurated, the shift will happen to new parliament building, but up till now a lot more things are not clear. So article is talking about that rather than just shifting to new parliament building, we need to respect the parliamentary traditions where opposition needs to be given space to speak and all such kind of a thing. In a nutshell, guys, the article doesn't contains that much kind of a substance on which the UPSC questions are usually asked. And one thing, guys, I want to tell you here is that in the sessions we always make an attempt to cover those particular issues which are academically important. Okay, and for that particular thing, and we need to always be very careful that about the type of questions that have been asked in the past. Okay, moving on, a GM crop decision. Now, this is an article that we are going to take up. It is an important article for our GS paper number 3. Pain and gain, TDP seems to have politically benefited from the leader's arrest. Political article. Then, guys, moving on. So this is a ground zero report. Now, what happened in ground zero report? People's personal accounts, their personal stories. Okay, for example, what happened? So basically, the people who are getting infected by COVID, Nipah, that is being told here. Okay. Then moving on. After that, Editors Guild of India has right to free speech. Okay, army deploys drones. Fine. Amid walkout by Congress, Gujarat Assembly passes bill. Okay, for more OBC seats in local bodies. Now, guys, moving on here, we have further. India seeks Australia's help in battle against Nipah virus. Okay, so basically, India has sought monoclonal antibodies. Okay, then further moving on in this particular direction, here we have an article. A platform will assess top 50 judges before appointment in Supreme Court. We will take this particular article for exam. Then we have these tenders. Jal Jeevan Mission. There is this article has come that will take this particular article also. Double decker buses will retire from Mumbai. Not much needed to go. Supreme Court seeks reply to on plea to stipend for MBBS interns. Again, nothing much important for exam has been given. Then, guys, coming on world page, missing minister brings a spotlight on Xi's purges. Okay, so basically, guys, we see this particular thing that basically we see this particular thing that there are many of the senior ministers, senior leaders in the China which are not being seen in the public meetings, and it is being speculated that they have been fired, they have been removed by the Xi Jinping. Okay, however, again, guys, nothing this is much important for our exam point of view. Then further moving on, here we have this article, wrong to assess economic activity on GDP alone, finance minister. So yes, I agree with what finance minister says that only GDP cannot be the measure of economy. Other parameters are also there. For example, apart from GDP, per capita income, the rate of employment, the female labor force participation rate. Okay, all these particular things are important indicators for the economy. Fine. Then further moving on, here we have the corporate trends, etc., and then we have the sports page. Okay, guys, one disclaimer I'm making in the today's video: two things. Today is a Saturday, so text and context is not published on Saturday. Even science page is not published on Saturday, and in editorial there is one page that is on the ground zero report, which is usually not containing important articles for our exam. So today we have very less articles which are important from exam point of view. Okay, some days in in 2 months or something like that, there will be such days when you will not have much articles. Okay, then moving on, so every class we start with the GS quotation. So today we'll take the quotation from uh, Nelson Mandela, and the quotation reads, just a minute, yes, and the quotation reads that as I have said, the first thing is to be honest with yourself. You can never have an impact on society if you have not changed yourself. Great peacemakers are all people of integrity, honesty, but humility. So first thing is to have truth. First, you have to be truthful to yourself. First, you have to change your value systems. First, you have change your own belief systems, and you have to incline your beliefs towards honesty. Your value should be inclined towards integrity. Only when internal change has come, you can think about changing the world. So great peacemakers are all the people who have these values such as integrity, honesty. Even Gandhiji said similar kind of a thing, that be the change you want to see in the world. Be the change you want to see in the world. Okay, so this particular idea can be used in GS paper number 4 ethics. GS paper number 4 ethics. Now, moving on, and let's take first article for today. Okay, so even, guys, the article that has come, fine, we have to mold them little bit for our exam point of view. Now, what has been the first article that we are going to taking. Jal Jeevan Mission remains a pipe dream. Now, this particular article, Jal Jeevan Mission, we will use for GS paper number 2. GS paper number 2, social justice, government schemes and their evaluation. Government schemes and their evaluation. For that thing, we are going to use this particular article. Now, what this particular article is talking about, let me show you first. Let me show you first what this article is talking about. So this article is actually analyzing that actually on ground. Now see, one is government's data about Jal Jeevan Mission. What is the scheme? I'll tell. And what is ground condition? How far actually government estimates are true? That is something we need to see. So basically see this thing. Here it has been provided that government shared a success story, and the success story was this. Success story was this, that 98% of all the rural homes in Moba district, they have been connected with the piped water. But then they say that okay, here out of these many villages, fine, these many houses have water connection. In Luhari villages, this is the situation. Okay, it's so different in Kunta village. This is situation in Panwari block. This is situation. No, you are not required to track this village by village data. Okay. Now we need to understand what the Jal Jeevan Mission is all about, and we will see some of the findings and some of the key takeaways from Jal Jeevan Mission. So as we talk about Jal Jeevan Mission, so Jal Jeevan Mission was launched in 2019 under the Ministry of Jal Shakti, and Jal Jeevan Mission aims to provide functional household tap connections by 2024. Functional household tap connections by 2024. Every home needs to be connected with a tapped water connection. Piped water should be provided, and at least 55 liter of water per person should be provided. Okay, for example, if in a home there are 4 people living, at least 220 liter of water should be provided, 55 liter per person. Now originally the scheme was started for rural areas, but then what has happened, guys? In budget 21-22, Jal Jeevan Mission Urban has also been announced, and this Jal Jeevan Mission Urban will be coming under the Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. So now Jal Jeevan Mission will ensure piped water connection in urban as well as rural. Keep this particular thing in your mind. Now, when we talk about Jal Jeevan Mission, it aims to start a Jan Andolan, a water revolution. Now, this Jal Jeevan Mission, it is based on three priorities, three objectives of Jal Jeevan Mission are there. Number one, securing tap and sewer connection. So not only water. Now, these type of options are often given in prelims examination, that with respect to Jal Jeevan Mission, consider the following statement. So fine. So apart from water, sewer connections will be focused. Rejuvenation of water bodies, bowries, lakes, ponds, etc. Rejuvenation of water bodies will be done. Creating circular water economy. Now, what is circular water economy? So basically, uh, suppose you have used the water, for bathing purpose. Now, that particular water becomes gray water. That particular water becomes gray water. So what is gray water? Gray water is any water that you has used and now it is not suitable for consumption purposes. So you have used the water for bathing. Now that particular water can be used for cleaning purposes. Then that particular water can again be purified by the sewage treatment plant, and then that water will be sent again back to the houses for the consumption. So circular water economy means that use water, then reuse water, then you treat that particular water, and after treating, use that water again. Okay, so this is the circular water economy, and for that particular thing, sewage treatment plants are going to play a very important role. So they will also be supported under this. Now, recently, the Jal Jeevan Mission survey was conducted, and as per this survey, 62% of rural households, they have functional tap water connections within their premises. Now, 62%, it is a good improvement, but guys, still the target was to reach 100% by 2024. So this looks little bit unachievable, that it might not happen. Now, when we talk about some of the high performing states, we have Tamil Nadu, Himachal Pradesh, Goa, Puducherry. They have reported 80% of households they are connected with functional connections. Okay, but there are some states which have not performed that good. Rajasthan, Kerala, Manipur, Tripura, likewise, they have less than 50% of the households that have covered by the tapped water connection. Now, not only water availability, but the water quality is an important parameter. And according to the Jal Jeevan Mission survey, 95% of households, the water that they are receiving, they are within the acceptable pH values. And over 90% of village level institutions, okay, Anganwadi centers, Panchayat offices, etc., they are also getting the water. Okay, fine, but at the same time, still the quality is a concern. And chlorine contamination has been a big problem that is there. Now this particular article is saying that though government data says, for example, if I just zoom it out, yes, so basically they say this particular thing now. So even in villages officially certified as having 100% of functional household tap connection. So here it has been said that okay, so basically it is being said that JGM's official dashboard report that all 385 villages have 100% household tap connections. Okay, but here it is provided that out of 398, 100 are the ones which are actually receiving the water. So that kind of report has been prepared that actually how many households are getting, how many government has claimed. But no need to go too much in that particular detail for UPSC exam point of view, because these kind of things are not needed. However, for your interest, if you want, you can go in that. Okay, for us, the scheme and its evaluation is important. Okay, fine. Then moving on to next article, a GM crop decision that cuts the mustard. So we'll take this particular article with respect to GS paper number 3. We'll take this particular article with respect to GS paper number 3. Okay, science and technology. Okay, now, before going on in this particular article, in this red box, I have provided you some basic information that you need to have before approaching this article. Fine, not given in article, so therefore I'll insist that please download the PDF, this one, and attach it in your notes. Now, this article is talking about the GM mustard, which is a hybrid variety of mustard. Now, first of all, let's understand that what is this hybrid mustard, or what is this process of hybridization. So basically, hybridization is a process where two genetically dissimilar plant are crossed so that the new variety that will be developed, it will be more productive, it is resistant from particular type of disease, from particular type of pest. Now, let me give you one example. Suppose there is A variety of mustard, and let's say there is B variety of mustard. A variety, B variety. A variety has high yield. A variety has high yield, but it is very much sensitive to weather, very much sensitive to moisture changes, and is prone to pests. Now B is resistant to climate. B is also hardy crop, doesn't get impacted by too much of the pest, etc. But productivity, yield is low in B. So what we can do, we can cross A and B, and the C variety that will be developed, it will have traits of both. It will have high yield and also it will be hardy crop. Okay. So in hybridization, what can be done? Two genetically dissimilar plants, they can be crossed so that first generation offspring will have higher yield than either of the parents had, and all the best of the attributes will be there in the next variety of crop, next first generation offspring that will be developed. Okay. Now, when we talk about hybridization has been used in many crop varieties. But why hybrid mustard is being celebrated so much? Because understand this thing, hybridization in case of mustard is not easy. Why? Because when we talk about the mustard flower is a self-pollinating flower. Why? Because mustard has both female pistil and male stamen, that is the reproductive organs. So therefore, mustard becomes a self-pollinating plant. So therefore, hybridization was difficult in this particular direction. Okay. So therefore, it was therefore it was difficult. But what has happened? In the case of India, we have successfully created the hybrid variety of mustard. Now, when we talk about this hybrid variety of mustard, we have developed DMH11. DMH11. So DMH11, which two plants have been crossed? Indian mustard variety Varuna and one Eastern European variety of mustard, that is early Hira 2. They have been crossed and DMH11 has been developed. Now, when we talk about this DMH11, it claims that it has 28% more yield, 28% more yield, and this thing has been verified in the field trials conducted by ICAR, Indian Council of Agriculture Research. Okay, now who has developed this DMH11? So DMH11 has been developed by Center for Genetic Manipulation of Crop Plant, Delhi University South Campus. Okay. Now, what has happened earlier? GEAC, fine. GEAC, we'll discuss about it. It has given the clearance for the environmental release of mustard. But then activists, they criticized it. Why? That also will take. Now, the article is supporting hybrid variety of crops, genetically engineered crops, and therefore it has supported DMH11. Now, article says this particular thing, that science based technologies, they are very much needed for crop improvement. Even if you take example green revolution, so before the green revolution, only 50 million tons of food grains were being produced in India, but now we are producing more than 300 million tons of food grains. So it is why? Because of the green revolution intervention, which was a science based intervention that happens. Article says this particular thing, that according to recently released global food security and nutrition report. Okay, now this report's edition is released every year. It is talking about the 2019 edition. It provides that world is not on the road to achieve zero hunger target by 2030. And recently also we have seen one more in addition of this global food security and nutrition report, where it provided that nearly half of the people, more than that even, are not able to support the nutritious diet. Okay, so world is not on the path to achieve sustainable developmental goal zero hunger by 2030. So what we need to increase yield. We need to increase yield. Now see, land is limited, but population is increasing every day. So if that limited land, you need to feed ever increasing population, productivity increase is only solution. Now, genetic modification, developing hybrid variety, developing the other genetically engineered variety can be a solution and can increase productivity, can contribute to global feed, which will be given to animals, fiber security. And it has been said that according to a report by the International Service for the Acquisition of Agri-Biotech Application, it has been said that 72 countries have adopted genetically modified crops. Either they have adopted genetically modified crops for consumption, human consumption, or animal consumption, or both. Okay, and commercial cultivation is also going on. Okay, then further it says that when we talk about the context of India, now in context of India, BT cotton was the first genetically modified crops that got adopted, and we have commercialized it for more than 20 years, and farmer are taking a lot of benefit of BT cotton. It has led to increased productivity, it has led to increased farmers income. So this is a kind of a success story. Now it has been said that after this, now around the world also many more crops are getting engineered. So beyond crop, maize, soyabean, cotton, and canola, other economically important crops, their variants, their uh, genetically modified variants have been developed, and by these genetically modified variants, they are becoming more tolerant to insects. They are becoming more tolerant to herbicides, etc. Now it is provided that these genetically modified crops, they have contributed hugely. For example, this is that genetically modified crops between 96 to 2018 have amounted to nearly $225 billion of worth economic benefits, and it have benefited more than 16 million farmers, and 95% are from developing country, including India also have got benefited by the GM crop, which cotton specifically. Now article says this particular thing, that as we talk about the condition of India right now is facing a major deficit in edible oil, and we are importing edible oil. 60% of the demand of edible oil is being met by import, and mustard is one of an edible oil which is consumed a lot in India. Okay, And it has been provided that when we talk about, for example, if just I give you data here, so domestic consumption of edible oil is around 25 million ton, but production of mustard is just 8.5 million ton. Fine. So around 13 million ton of edible oil we are importing. And for that 1.17 lakh crore rupees we have to give. So 1.17 lakh crore rupees of value worth of edible oil we are importing. So point is that we can become self-sufficient in edible oil. Why? How? We need to increase the area under the mustard, and to increase the mustard yield, DMH11, genetically this hybrid mustard DMH11 can be a game changer according to the article. So article says this particular thing, that the DMH11 that has been developed by genetic manipulation of crop plant, Delhi University, they provide that it has a higher yield. Also, it has herbicide tolerance gene. Now, what is herbicide tolerance? Basically, guys, herbicides are those chemicals which are used to kill the weeds in a field. So, let's say there is an agricultural field. In agricultural field, there will be many unwanted plants that will also grow. These unwanted plants are competing with the main plant for nutrition, for space, for sunlight, everything they are competing. So we need to remove these weeds. Now these weeds can be removed by two ways. You can pluck them by hand, but it will take a lot of effort then. Or you can spray some chemical on that which will kill these weeds. But if you spray that chemical, what will happen? It will impact the major crop also, the plant also. So plucking by hand, it is largely an option. But what is happening in this particular mustard? Herbicide tolerance have been given. Means you spray that chemical, it will not impact this mustard. So mustard is tolerant to that herbicide. It is tolerant to that herbicide. So therefore, it is also going to save a lot of menial labor also. Now, because of this particular reason, activists have criticized also. It says that because of that, it becomes carcinogenic. It might lead to cancer because safety is a big concern in that particular capacity. So, article says that Genetic Engineering Appraisal Committee, which is under the Ministry of Environment, fine, it has allowed that the DMH11 can be allowed for the cultivation, and we should move to that. But however, again I'm telling you that food activists, they are criticizing that right now it is too soon to allow it for commercial cultivation. See, cotton not a problem. Why? Because it is not that we are going to consume, but mustard we are going to consume. So health impacts in the long run are needed to be studied more meticulously. So therefore protests are also there. Fine, this is all about it. Now moving on to next article. A platform will assess top 50 judges before appointment in Supreme Court CGI. Now, so basically, guys, the article is talking about Chief Justice of India, who made a statement where he provides this particular thing, that recently what has happened, Supreme Court has created a platform. Supreme Court has created a platform which has been created with the help of scholars, law interns, law researchers, and this particular platform will assess the top 50 judges in the country, top 50 judges in the country who would be considered for appointment of judges. Now, as we talk about the appointment of judges, you already know that judges in Supreme Court are appointed through the collegium. This collegium contains four senior most Supreme Court judges and Chief Justice of India. So this collegium of four senior most Supreme Court judges will decide that who will be selected as a Supreme Court judge. And right now it has been said that collegium system, often it is said that collegium doesn't have factual data about the people, about the judges. And also, it has been said that often judges that have been selected in Supreme Court, fine, basically, it has been criticized that fair process is not used. So, therefore, reforms also are being talked about. Now, it has been provided that this particular database will contain all the information about the top 50 judges in the various high court. And out of these top 50 judges, the judges for the Supreme Court will be appointed. He said that by this particular process, appointment of Supreme Court will become transparent. We will be able to identify definite parameters on whose basis we can do the selection of the judges. Okay. Now, this is something he has provided. Now, guys, it has, however, not clear that out of the top 50, let's say four judges are to be appointed, so top four will be appointed, or from 50, any four will be appointed. You are getting it? Suppose 1 to 50 list is there. Will 1, 2, 3, 4 will be appointed, or any 4 out of 50 will be appointed? That is not clear, but this platform they have created. Now you can give it as a example that how Supreme Court is moving in line of judicial reforms to ensure more objectivity in judicial appointment processes. So there we can give this particular example. Okay. And this is guys all about it. Fine. So we don't have much other important articles, and I don't want to waste your time just to do this 1 hour session for formality. Okay, because the time happens to be more important. Now, mains practice question for today. The environmental release of GM mustard DMH11 marks a new era in self-reliance and sustainability in agriculture in India. Comment. So this will be a GS paper number 310 marker question. Okay. So that is all guys about it. And with this, we come to an end to the today's newspaper analysis. Guys, I hope that you are able to understand all the articles, especially the background that we have discussed. And I also believe that you are getting utility of this particular session. Guys, please keep on supporting us. Please leave your comments and please do like the video because it helps our channel. And I am really grateful to all the support that you guys are showing on our uh, program. Thank you so much.